Hello, everyone. So I'm back again. So it's been a while since I've had time to actually sit down out in the workshop, and a lot of work-related stuff and conferences and all stuff like that. So so it's been crazy for a while. So I haven't been able to sit down in the workshop for a while. But I was going. I actually had some time to do some restorations, and it's been a while since we looked at a one of my restored machines. And as you may know, I'm a some of you may know this, who know me personally, that I'm a big collector of Victor Technologies computers. The company Victor Technologies, of course, in the Victor brand used for calculators since 1918, something like that. Very old company, who then got together with the father of the 6502 microprocessor, which would be Chuck Peddle, who then together Chuck Peddle had a company called Cirrus Systems, and he made the Cirrus One for Victor, or they struck a deal, and that machine was later rebranded the Victor 9000, and sold through Victor's distribution channels that they had for like business equipment, like calculators, and also very early electronic calculators, numerical adding machines. But then, I mean, it was the Sirius machine became actually the top selling microcomputer in Europe. I have a lot of Victor computers. I don't have a Sirius One or a Victor 9000, but I have pretty much any other model. Sadly, haven't been able to find a Victor 9000 in a good working condition. But yeah, so long story short, Peddle then bought back the Victor Business Products division, and did so in 1982 and rebranded this Victor Technologies. Victor Technologies was a company which made a large inroads in into like in the 80s, large inroads in competing with IBM with compatible machines. So as a Victor collector, quite a long while back now, I made a trade with another collector for this setup that you see here, which is a complete Victor 433D, and this would be at the later part of Victor Technologies' existence. This is one of the later models, as opposed to their more known models like the VPC models or the 286 range of the 80s. The 433D, with the D standing for desktop, is a 33 megahertz 486 machine. That I have now refurbished, and it's actually complete with the Victor monitor, of which I have several, but they pretty much all look and work the same. At least the VGA ones. I have some earlier ones as well, like for the VPC, which were amber monochrome monitors. But this Victor had a standard European built design on their VGA CRTs, which pretty much all look like this. And also the Japanese made fantastic Victor standard AT style keyboard. with an PS2 adapter, because this is a PS2 compatible machine. And I refurbished all of these pieces. This is like the sixth keyboard of this type that I get into the workshop, and I've saved all of them because this is, people may talk about the Model M as some sort of golden standard. To me, this Japanese made with Japanese silent switches, which means that they are, there's no rubber dome here, they're actually micro switched keys, but they're not clicky. They're very, very light to the touch. Very light, non-clicky micro switched keyboard with really high quality components. Compared to the Model M, I would say that this one is much, much better. It's much nicer feeling, and it's a very light touch. Really love this keyboard. So I paired all of these things together into a now refurbished 433D system. So I thought you may wanted to check out this system. So first, let's get in just as a small filler video, because I haven't done a video for so long. I've restored this one, and I've restored a compact portable 386, which we may look at in another video, where I also refurbished the amber plasma screen on that one, so it's now in excellent condition. But now for this machine, let's have a look at this. This machine is from this was produced 1992, 1993, so this is on the later verge of the Victor Technologies, the later part of their existence. I've fitted a CD-ROM drive here. It doesn't originally have one. So I've fitted a Philips CD-ROM here, and otherwise it's pretty much as delivered, except for two additions which we will look at, which I did when I refurbished. The only thing that didn't buff out in refurbishing is this scratch here, which for some reason I couldn't get it to buff out properly. Otherwise it's in very nice condition. Everything is in very nice condition. So let's have an exterior look around first, starting with this gorgeous keyboard. So it's a standard AT style keyboard, very heavy, with, like I said, very light touch, non-clicky Japanese micro switches. Absolutely gorgeous keyboard. This is a lovely keyboard. Very nice typing feel. The size is just right. Much better than the IBM Model M, in my opinion, because it's much less resistance when typing, but still a very nice key travel. So looking around the system, you have the at the back you can see pretty much standard, and like I said, the D in the model name stands for the desktop orientation, which is this pizza box style orientation, which I really like because it makes for a very nice desktop footprint. Now you can see one of my additions here, which is an XT IDE card with a compact flash card attached to it. It's not 8 gigabytes that is used, it's a much smaller partition. The reason why it's an XT IDE is because the IDE controller on the motherboard on this machine it didn't play nice with the compact flash card, so I put in an XT IDE with compact flash port, which detected this compact flash card just fine. And this is because the mechanical drive is old and very noisy. So it still works, but it's old and noisy. Now, this is my second edition, which is a addition to this refurbishing. This is a Sound Blaster 16 ISA sound card, which is very period correct for this machine, and actually very much compatible with just about everything. The monitor has, well, standard settings, brightness, contrast, on, off, not much else. This is actually, the monitor actually has a rather nice picture, but this is one of the, I mean, the things that, oh, hi guys, you can see me in the reflection there, that Victor would ship together with their like package deals. So it's not a very high quality monitor. They used this exact type in a lot of package deals, which also included the small form factor 386MX, for instance. So the exterior of the machine is really nice. This is a 33 megahertz 486SX CPU with not 4, not 2, but 3 megabytes of RAM, which you will see when we boot the machine, probably. So it has 3 megabytes of RAM, and it has an onboard Cirrus Logic VGA controller, which is a VGA chip. So video chip is actually spot on for early 90s DOS and Windows use, which is pretty much the whole machine, which is why I like it so much, because this is the exact right specifications for those early 90s DOS games, but also for running Windows 3.1. This it's not too slow, and it's also not too fast. It's just right to use today for that kind of thing. And also this gorgeous desktop footprint of the machine being the pizza box style case. Let's open it up. Now I've removed the top cover. As you can see, there's a lot of junk in the background, like monitors and whatnot, but yeah, stuff on the to-do list. So I removed the top cover, but as we can see, and this is really, really nice, this is really high quality, there's an internal layer of like aluminium or pressed steel that is here, and this is to actually help carry the weight of placing the monitor on top of the machine, like you would normally do on this pizza box style desktop case. It's a really nice addition. It's very, very sturdy. So you have a protective cover here, and you have this is a nice Mitsumi floppy drive, which is original, and then the CD drive that I added. So let's you can see that the covers, they open up like this. I'll show you. So you open up the cover. This cover, let's see if I can do this one-handed or not. So this cover slides back, takes a bit of force, and opens up like this to reveal the internals. And here we can see the Soundmaster 16 value, which is the cheap ass value edition. Soundmaster 16, which I added, probably because that was the closest period correct thing I could find. It's a network card, which is not original, which I just remember that I added. And the XDID is underneath the sound card here. Here you can see the CPU, which is very nicely done by Victor. It's socketed. It's not soldered to the board, so this means that you can replace it yourself, which is not common with OEM machines. Victor is a bit above the norm there. You can see standard memory banks, and you can see here that the system also has a heat sink and is actually socketed, the CPU. It's really nice. A standard Aztec AT power supply over here. And that's pretty much it. I don't think that you can actually see the Cirrus Logic chip. It's yeah, that was okay. I missed a lot of dust down there when refurbishing apparently, but that is the Cirrus Logic VGA chip. So you have pretty much a standardized design in a very nice case design where everything is easily accessible, and it's just mounted flat to the bottom here, unlike like the contemporary compacts or stuff like that, which had lots of metal and stuff in the way. This is pretty much a very good design. Very clean, very nice, very clean desktop design. So let's power it up. So I've reassembled the system and switched it on, the monitor at least. So let's power on the computer as well, see what happens. And this is going to be some flickering from the CRT screen and also from my fluorescent lights out here in the workshop, but you'll have to live with that. So let's power it on and see what it does. Also see if we can figure out some yeah. Okay, so you see, like I said, it's 1993 for the Cirrus Logic, the VGA BIOS. So this was probably made in the later run in 1993. There you can see the XDID booting, the compact flash card. Actually using this startup menu from Phil's computer lab because I really like that one. Included on pretty much all my partitions. This is some old partition that I pulled as a disk image and wrote to the compact flash card. So could be anything on here. Not really sure what's on here. Probably some folder called games that we can use. Yeah, this is hard to do one-handed. Let's okay. Let's do this. Okay, so let's see what's on this particular image. Okay, so there's some nice games on here. One of the games that are quite hard to, it's actually this one. Okay, so it's hard to do this one hand. It's not a great I think it's like this, right? So this is Quarantine, the violent driving game, a taxi driving game actually, but this is a DOS game that is known for its yeah, that was a cracked copy protection. So yeah, pretty much known for its speed sensitivity. This is one of the games that it's hard to capture the CRT screen, by the way, and you also have to look at me filming the screen. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, that's some horrible acting right there. So it's known for being speed sensitive, and that means that if you don't have just the right speed on the CPU, it's going to be either too fast or sluggish. Whereas this 33 megahertz SX CPU is actually just right for this generation of games. So this is one of those games that where the acceleration of your car is like insane on a faster CPU, and it's also very sluggish on a 386, whereas this machine is actually spot on for this. So this is actually a good demo, and as you can see, the color quality of this rather cheap pack-in VGA monitor is actually not that bad. It's quite good. So you see here that it actually runs decently here, and it's not too fast and it's not too slow. It's actually very much playable. Also, I love this game. Oh, ran that guy over, that guy as well. Okay, so this is like a what the hell? This is like a futuristic taxi driving game with lots of. If you haven't played it, it's you play this hover cab driver trying to get out of some dystopian future city called Chemo City, where you by basically murdering everyone, more or less. So, okay, sorry. And then you can pick up passengers, which are all like stereotype cyberpunk thing going. You can see that here. Okay, that's a weird looking guy with a lot of tattoos, obviously. So yeah, you can then okay, what do you want? Okay, he's apparently a doctor, wearing cut up jeans, no shirt, and basically sporting his full body gang tattoos, but he's apparently a surgeon. So yeah, interesting. Okay, blow that guy up. Okay, as you can see, this is actually an ideal machine for playing this game, and also for playing lots of the early 90s flight simulators and so on, which were also very speed sensitive. I gotta play more of this game someday. I love this game, by the way. But enough of gaming. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, probably some sort of hardware issue. Could be that I had the wrong sound settings, probably that. Okay, so gaming is fine. What more can we do with this thing? Let's see if we have something like this. Yeah, this would be also, with this gorgeous keyboard, this would probably be one of my top picks for this, which would be my favorite word processor of all time, which I still use to this very day, and so does of course George R.R. Martin, the Game of Thrones writer, who also uses WordStar still, and so do I. However, I don't write epic fantasy literature that earns me millions and millions of dollars, unfortunately. I write boring stuff, like I don't know, software manuals for software that I developed and then have to write documentation for. But yeah, so in this, so it's with this keyboard, it's a very nice editing machine as well. Makes for a really good word processing machine. I don't want to save that, sorry. So then also we can have a look at, here we go. We can have a look at Windows 3.1, which is of course the ideal version of Windows, or of the Windows operating system to run on a machine like this. So this is DOS 6.22 and Windows 3.1. And as you can see here, the Cirrus Logic actually has support for the higher color modes, which makes using Windows 3.1, except for that super annoying scan rate, which makes it hard to film this monitor in this resolution. But it supports the VGA resolution with the higher color modes, which makes it absolute joy to use Windows 3.1 on this machine, and the speed is and compatibility is excellent. It's just about right for this time frame, say 1992, say everything from 1990 up until 1994 is just about right with this specification. So it's actually a wonderful machine to have and to use, because it's just spec'd so very well for that time period. And also it's of course a Victor machine, which makes me happy. And the keyboard is, as I said, lovely. If you ever get a chance to buy one of these keyboards, you should never hesitate. Just buy it right now, and throw your IBM Model M in a dumpster, because this is so much better. Okay, so that's about it for this short review of one of the things I've been finding time to refurbish out of two, with the second being the compact portable 386 I was talking about later, where I did some heavy electronics work on the plasma screen, which we will look at in its own video, I think. But all in all, really happy with this addition to my personal collection, as opposed to stuff I refurbish for others. This is a very nice addition to my personal collection because, one, it's a Victor machine. Two, it's spec'd just about right for that early 90s DOS 6 and Windows 3.1 stuff. And this keyboard is my, like I said, this is my sixth one like this. And I can never get enough of these, and this one turned out really well as well. It's nice and white still, all the keys. So and nothing's broken, so that's fine. That's excellent, actually. So that's it for this video, and hopefully I can get some more spare time and some less conferencing time to show you the portable 386 I refurbished as well. There's also another topic that I have in my queue, thanks to a suggestion from a friend to look at code for spell checking, and a specific era in the 80s where this was a very hot topic, and that's actually quite an interesting story. So might as well do that, a video on it, and actually show you, actually maybe try to write some code as well for that. We'll see. So that's it for today. So see ya.